We knew he was extremely explosive, but then once you get to know him and, just see the type of person that he was, the way he was raised, you knew you wanted a kid like that.
He's always reading the Bible and pushing me to read the Bible and getting deeper in the Word, with our D group, with me, him, Cole, and Kaysen, and with his guys, he's leading people on the team.
Me and Deion meet every week. It's helped me tremendously. I think it's helped me, be able to communicate more to, the team, my teammates, just be a better person in general,
This right here that you wear across his chest, man, this mean green, it means something to me. It means something to me, for real. And I love y'all, seriously, love y'all from the bottom of my heart.
He loves his game, he's passionate about football, but he understands there's life after football, and he wants to be able to, be an impact on people's life.
I joke with him often about it. You'd be a phenomenal coach. I said, but you're going to impact a whole lot more people doing it your way than doing it mine.
Today we're here with one of our friends, one of our mentors, Deion. Today we're just going to be hearing a little bit about his story, his ministry, and his job, and even being content to where the Lord has placed him for these last 3 or 4 years. And so this is Deion.
What up? What up?
He's going to give you maybe a little testimony to start off with, and then you can dive into what you do, why you do what you do, and where you're at.
Yeah, that's good. My testimony will run right into that. So, grew up in Texas, single mother. I went to college at UNT. I played football there from 2016 to 2018. Grew up going to church, playing football. Got a scholarship out there. Got set to go to UNT. But in college, I thought I was a Christian. I thought I knew who the Lord was, but that wasn't true. I knew a lot about who God was. Knew a lot about what He had did, but as far as my own life, I didn't know that. And changed a lot when I got to college. Realized that, man, I see people's lives that look different than mine. Mm-hmm. A guy named WC, man, his life just looks different. He loved Jesus in a different way than I had seen it lived out before. Mm-hmm. But anyway, all that to say, my testimony, my life, honestly, gets to college, and as I'm there, I realized that not only do I not know Jesus, but I actually judge people who are around me. My heart is self-righteous, and it's actually just as much in need of saving, just like everybody else around me. And that kind of, as the Lord pointed that out to me, as I seen I'm just as much of a sinner as anybody else, and that changed the way I had to view who God was. He wasn't just coming to get other people and save them, but He was coming to save me too. And so, that infiltrated my life, infiltrated my heart. Didn't mean I was without sin, even after the Lord saved me in 2017, but it meant that I lived a life that was different than I used to. And so, got to disciple some guys, or really share the gospel with some guys when I was playing in 2019. Mm-hmm. 3 guys, T. Blyles, Grayson and Gabriel Murphy. Mm-hmm. And as I got to disciple those guys, share Christ with those guys, man, they came to faith, and man, now they're off in their different schools, loving Jesus. But man, that made me excited to do more ministry. I wanted to know how to do that more, and so it honestly paved the way for me doing this job, which is I work for an organization called Campus Outreach, which our mission is to glorify God by building up labels on the college campus for the lost world. Mm-hmm. And the hope is that we're going to see future world-changing world leaders raised up on college campuses. People who want to be doctors, where they going to go?
Yeah.
College. People want to be lawyers, where they going to go? College. Whatever major there is and what people want to do, they're probably going to go to college to get it done. And so future world changers and world leaders, they're going to be there on your college campuses. Mm-hmm. And I want to affect that. And so where I'm going to go. And so this is a strategic place to be. Mm-hmm. But even in that, I'm here doing this work to see college students raised up as laborers, leaders. And in that, I'm going to continue to share the gospel with people because I think that's the greatest gift anybody could ever be given. And so.
No, that's good. That's great. And even hearing your story, your testimony, growing up thinking you were a Christian, and even getting here and seeing, man, last week we kind of talked about cultural Christianity. Okay. And even what the culture thinks Christians look like, what you may even think a Christian looks like before you actually get around a body of believers and dive into His Word. And you even have people in your life that not only were able to point out sin, but were able to point you to Jesus.
Yeah.
And you were even able to see the pride, the arrogance. And not only you have, but we all have it. We're all sinners in need of a Savior.
Yeah.
And we do have a Savior. And so, no, that's really cool. Even going to your ministry, I mean, you mentioned just a few guys, the Murphy twins, who are in California right now.
Yeah, UCLA.
You're the chaplain, University of North Texas.
Yeah, my fault.
Yeah, he's the chaplain. He's known as Prime Time over there. Played for 4 years, Prime Time Griffin. And even going more deeper than that, I mean, you've been given just this opportunity by God to your nation, your particular area, you're reaching your vision. Has been close. Where's the football team?
Yeah.
Those are your main brothers you're going to go reach and share the gospel. But that's not your only people you wanted to have a heart for.
Yeah.
And so how were you able to bring your vision for your teammates, for your coaches, to the campus, even what it looks like? I mean, you have people met in this room, and you met on back home in Denton, or even on this project that we're on, that you've had a great deal of mentoring and discipling and pushing towards Jesus. So how did that vision from the football team to the three that you reached on the football team to the college players, how did that grow? Or even how did you even bring that into your job?
Yeah, man. Man, honestly, the vision for reaching the football team, it came to a lot. I mean, I just began to realize what God's heart was for people. God didn't come for just a select number of people. We read in our Bibles, He came for the world.
Yeah.
And those who did receive Him, for those who believed in the name, He gave them the right to become children of God. And so God was reaching His hand out to the world in the way that He gave His Son. And therefore, as an ambassador of Christ, I'm going to plead on behalf of Christ and be reconciled to God. And that started first with where I was. I was a football player. And there's no way I could go to a college campus. There's no way that I could go anywhere in the world, in my nation, to say I'm going to go proclaim Christ if I'm not going to do it where I am. And at that moment, I was with football players. And I can't be fearful to share the gospel with some people that I call my brothers, that I say I care a lot about and love. If I can't do it with them, then I ain't going to do it with nobody.
So growing up as obviously you were a D1 athlete, so growing up you were pretty much always the star of the team.
Yeah.
How did that kind of make your childhood better and worse? How did that make you difficult to grow up?
Oh, man. People thought I had a chip on my shoulder. People thought I was better than I was, or, they just thought that I was arrogant at times. And it's no, actually, it's really the reason why I grew up a lot of ways without a lot of confidence, because I was trying to fit who I was to what people thought of me. So it honestly made it a lot harder, because, I was good. I was better than a lot of people was, and then it's well, should I not be as good? And obviously I didn't do that, but it was just more of subconsciously trying to fit who I am to what people thought I should be in my attitude. And so I tried to become more mild. I tried to become, less arrogant or less. And so that just kind of really, I think in a lot of ways turned to me being less confident and was in my abilities.